you. My name is Alice Linahan, and what we know in uncovering and pulling back the onion, if you will, on both Common Core nationally and CSCOPE in the state of Texas are the strategies and the tactics that were used to implement it both nationally and in our state with CSCOPE. My question is two-part. Is, in your opinion, Common Core and CSCOPE, are they the same philosophy of education? Meaning, in Texas, our TEKS, our standards, are the strongest in the nation. And they are traditional and foundational. One concept builds on the next. In math, you start with addition, subtraction, multiplication. In Common Core and in CSCOPE, what we're seeing is it's, as Donna Gardner says, type 2. Everything is more, it's subjective. And you can't have that level of deeper thinking and critical thinking if you don't have that foundation. And so, do you think that Common Core and CSCOPE is the same philosophy of education? And in peeling back the onion, we know that the funding for Common Core, in large part, is coming from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And they've put $100 million into In Bloom to capture that data. Do you think, as a state board member of education, it is ethical for a lobbyist for Microsoft to be an elected official on the State Board of Education as Thomas Ratliff is?
Thank you, Alice.
Alice, thank you for your question. First and foremost, it is not ethical for him, a registered lobbyist, to be on the State Board of Education. The AG's office already came out and said he's serving illegally. He does not need to be on that board. Special interest, Microsoft. Who uses Microsoft? CSCOPE. Do I think they're the same thing? Oh yes, they're the same thing, the same philosophy. If you look back and you research it, it's like I researched both. They come from the same people. The same people. The same philosophy. And like I said before, we can get rid of Common Core, we can get rid of CSCOPE, but they're not going to stop trying to push their agenda on us. It's going to be something after another. And we have to stay strong as Texans and as parents and to say no. We don't want this garbage in our schools.
I don't know how many ways I can say this. CSCOPE and the Common Core are two different entities. They are simply two different things.
You're right.
CSCOPE is a curricula, how to teach the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. And I thank you for your comment about the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, because they are the best in the nation. I personally think so. I have overseen the development of all of those. I'm especially proud of the social studies because that was my field of interest. Our standards are the best in the nation, I feel, and that is why I absolutely would never ever want to go with the Common Core. The Common Core, before the governor, the commissioner, or anybody else said we don't want to have that in Texas, the State Board of Education unanimously voted to stay with our standards. Now let me address Thomas Ratliff. Thomas Ratliff is a friend of mine. He's on the State Board of Education. He is a lobbyist for Microsoft. He works in one division of Microsoft. If you can imagine, they have a lot of different divisions in Microsoft, and his is in medical software. Medical software. So there is no way, one, he could ever influence what was being bought, what was being purchased from the permanent school fund. We actually hire people to come in and do that. So that would be one. The other is there is no way he could influence school districts to buy computers. That would be so small in the scope of what he does. That's why the Attorney General has not removed him from the State Board of Education. By the way, he's a good friend. I will stick with him.